What is up, guys? It is Lifted, and in today's video we got a very different kind of upload for today. We're gonna be cracking cases. I don't know if I'm really gonna go through on this video and actually do what we're doing, but in one of my recent videos I actually got my CGC card back from PSA. It didn't get the minimum grade for the cross grade, and during the time of it being there, I've been witnessing a lot of these CGC cards actually being problematic. So if I can get my nail in there, maybe I'll pop this thing open, because from what I've been seeing online, people who get their CGC returns back, like, certain ones aren't sealed on as well as others, and it just kind of pops open some of the time. And with that being said, that also allows for scammers or whatever to pop different cards inside the cases. How did they do it? Guys. Okay, so guys, we have a problem. CGC. Oh man, all it took was barely any like experience in what I'm doing here. This is the first time I've ever popped a case open, so I'm going to be super careful here. But basically I just had to get my thumbnail under that little separation and it just pops open. So let's be super careful here now, because we actually have the Leafeon out of its case. Wow, just like that. You can just pop these suckers off. Wow, that was too easy. Maybe this will be a video of its own. Wow, guys, okay, so a lot of people are confused about CGC, and I just cracked a case with my bare hands, no screwdriver, no tile cutters that you'd need for PSA. Well, I don't know if you just saw that there, but I just sleeved the Leafeon from its case, and it just popped out with ease. And essentially what I could do at this point now is let's go ahead and place a shit card inside the case and see what happens. Let's just put a fucking Evolutions Charmander here as an example. So basically, someone could then just put the card, a different card, inside the case and reseal it. Wow. And these things don't look as if I did anything to it. Like, this is ridiculous. Like, they need to figure something out to where they can't just, like, do this. Because now I have this Charmander in a CGC case, and there is, if I popped it together, obviously that would be a different story, but you know, like, there could be literally no sign of this thing being sealed back together, and for all you know, you got some faulty card inside that isn't really that grade. Wow. So be careful, guys. This is a little PSA, not a PSA, public service announcement, not a professional sports authenticator, but yeah, guys, my God, careful with CGC. That's all I gotta say. So hopefully guys have enjoyed this strange experiment we did here. And as a result of cracking this as well, I noticed the quality control behind CGC. So this card in particular, the Leafeon from Majestic Dawn, had 9 and then 3 8.5s for the grades. The centering and the surface is flawless, I'll tell you that, but as you get closer, the top corner is perfect. Bottom right corner is perfect. Bottom left corner has a bit of whitening, but one thing I didn't notice inside the CGC case was this corner. So as far as I was aware, this card looked great, but maybe it was snugged against the CGC case in one of the sides there to where it didn't really show the damage that was actually on the card. So, I mean, when it comes to these cases and whatnot, and if you're planning on cracking them out, I mean, it sure is pretty easy to get your card out, but you know, I don't know if their standards are quite up to what you're looking for. So even if it does appear to have good subgrades, I don't think I would recommend going the CGC route and going through the process of cross grading and all that stuff like I did. So, I mean, I'm still very happy to own this card. It's a beautiful card, but man, that's just such a bummer. All right, and that was just kind of my first impressions on CGC for their graded cards. And oh man, okay, I'm pretty impressed with how their rates are and how they can provide like these slabs for real cheap for great turnaround times during the pandemic. So it does seem to have its place in the market. But when it comes down to higher end cards or cards you want to display yourself, I think people are definitely still cracking these open to put them in PSA cases. So when it comes down to, I don't know, just not selling an item, when it comes down to keeping an item, you're going to want PSA cards. So I don't know, it's kind of a questionable place in the hobby. But you know, if PSA is increasing their prices, which seems to be the current topic of discussion these days, yeah, I think it might still have a pretty good place. But I don't know, for collection pieces, you're gonna want the PSA 9s and 10s, and then you're gonna want the Beckett 9.5s and 10s. And for Beckett, you know, it holds its place in the hobby because aside from the 9.5s and 10s, it also has black labels, and that does seem to have a similarity with CGC's pristine 10, but you know, I don't think it still holds that much value because nobody really wants a high-end card in a CGC case as of now. So that's just how the market stands for now. Things might change in the future, but I'm just kind of going off of how I feel about it, how I don't know, consider the slab as an art piece of its own, because I am a designer. So I guess we can get into that. I mean, the blue label, it's not a bad color, but it just doesn't provide that much contrast. So you'll see the black text and it just kind of fades in. I like the Beckett labels because, you know, they're metallic. If you get the better grades for it, the black label's amazing looking design. Looks like a real luxury good. But the CGC just kind of looks, I don't know, kind of cheap compared to even a PSA case. I like the frosted glass, or I don't know, it's not glass, but the frosted kind of design to it. I like the holographic parts on the labels too. And CGC does have this little sticker thing on the back too, but compared to how PSA backs are now, even PSA's like still considering to change the design as well, but they're going to add like a sleeve or something inside the case, similar to what Beckett does. So that's a lot of cool things to consider when it comes to the design. But, you know, also with the PSA, I don't know, the red border and the white label just looks pretty iconic, and it looks great on anything, as well as the little accents and how they format it. But the one problem with PSA labels sometimes is how cluttered sometimes the text can be. I don't know if I have a good example here, but when it comes down to, you know, this is probably as bad as it really gets. It gets kind of cluttered. So that's the downside to a label on a PSA case. And I don't know if CGC would ever run into that problem, but overall, I just don't really like it in general. The subgrades is great. That's another thing that's similar to BGS. But I don't like how the grade looks, the number box there. I don't know if I like the near mint on top of the number inside the box. I don't know. It just doesn't look right. It looks kind of goofy. I don't know if the centered text looks really, I don't know. With all I said about the blue background, maybe if they did white text over the whole thing would be a solution to that. but overall I still think they should rework that. Doesn't look very premier. The clear cases could keep going, but I don't know if that is, I don't know, as nice of a design. And considering how I cracked it open oh so easily, that is a very, very distinctive flaw, because if it comes down to popping open a PSA case or a CGC, or not CGC, BGS case, it takes a whole lot of work. It takes tile cutters to pop it open, but with this, a slight finesse of the fingernail, it pops open. I don't know, maybe a scammer could like glue gun it shut, or like maybe even just pop it back together. Depends on how they got it open, and just put a lesser card in there or something, who knows. But yeah, I don't know. That's a real security issue when it comes to their grades and stuff overall. And I don't know, it just doesn't feel like as quality material as other slabs, and that's probably also what contributes to the value. Also what contributes to people wanting to keep these in their collection long term. And with that being said, that's kind of problematic for owning these and, I don't know, investing into it. So overall, I don't think CGC is very nice. CGC kind of sucks. They need to really change things until they can really solidify that place in the hobby. As for now, they're just kind of the quick grading method when the other more premier services are unavailable or too slow. So as for now, I'm still sticking to PSA. I will consider BGS for my Japanese cards. I'm actually going to do a submission for that soon. Hopefully I can snag a few black labels, to say the least. Fingers crossed, a lot of cool stuff. And hopefully PSA can also work on my bulk order that's there right now. Another thing to mention is these background cards, all these prime cards from Heart Gold, Soul Silver. I'll be unboxing a lot more of these. These are the ones I've unboxed in the past, but there'll be more. And also loose cards that I'll be grading soon. The cards that I kind of was referencing for this video, I'll probably be selling these as well. That's a PSA 10 Full Art Ancient Origins Lugia PSA 10, if I didn't say so already. We got Hidden Fates, Charmeleon, Gem Mint, and yeah, Dragon Majesty 9. A lot of these artworks are just really nice arts. I don't know, but yeah, I might hold on to some of these. Not 100% sure on listing these, but the ones that I will be listing for sure consist of Magnemite, or Magneton, Hidden Fates, Gem Intent, another pretty sick artwork, Lucario, and then we got a WotC card. That's out of nowhere. Yeah, so first edition. Hopefully I can get a good price for some of these, and maybe I'll consider trading these. There are a lot of cards I'm trying to get my hands on, so if you consider a trade or find things that you're interested in, feel free to contact me, whether if it's social media, Instagram. All my stuff's the lifted state, even on eBay, so don't feel, I don't know, just feel free to reach out. That's all I gotta really say at this point. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed the content. Hopefully you understand some of this analysis here. So that's just my perspective on things, and hopefully you guys enjoy the content. Subscribe if you haven't already. It's been lifted, and I'm out. Peace.